In this critical video, we are investigating the concerning reports of drug cartel members conducting surveillance on important military and civilian figures, creating lists of targets for potential assassination if tensions with Iran escalate. With the Trump administration under increasing international pressure, MAGA headquarters and Trump supporters' residences are being identified as primary targets. Join us as we examine the implications of these threats, the enhanced security measures being put in place, and the implications for national security. Stay informed and ready as we uncover the realities of these cartel threats. Remember to like and share this vital information with your friends to spread awareness.
Drug cartels are gaining power. They are becoming bolder. Their reach extends beyond drug trafficking. They are involved in human smuggling, extortion, and violence. This violence is spilling across the U.S. border. It threatens the safety of Americans. The cartels operate with impunity in Mexico. They corrupt officials. They intimidate communities. They act with increasing brutality. Their tactics include assassination and terrorism. They target anyone who stands in their way. This includes politicians, journalists, and law enforcement. The U.S. is not immune to this violence. Cartel activity inside the U.S. is increasing. They traffic drugs through sophisticated networks. They launder money through legitimate businesses. They use violence to protect their interests. The growing power of the cartels is a serious threat. It demands attention. It requires a coordinated response. Failure to act will have dire consequences. Drug cartels are becoming increasingly sophisticated. They utilize advanced technology for surveillance. This includes drones, spyware, and facial recognition software. They gather intelligence on their enemies. This allows them to operate with impunity. The cartels are compiling lists. These lists contain names of potential targets. These targets include law enforcement, military personnel, and government officials. Journalists and activists are also at risk. These lists are a chilling reminder of the cartel's reach. The use of surveillance technology is a worrying trend. It allows the cartels to operate with greater precision. It makes it harder to track their movements. It also makes it more difficult to protect potential targets. This level of sophistication poses a significant challenge. It requires a coordinated response from law enforcement and intelligence agencies. Failure to adapt will have deadly consequences. President Donald Trump remains a controversial figure. His policies and statements often provoke strong reactions. His stance on immigration and border security is particularly divisive. Some argue that his actions could inadvertently incite cartel violence. Trump's policies, such as designating cartels as terrorist organizations, could have unintended consequences. Such a designation could escalate tensions. It might lead to retaliation against U.S. interests. The cartels could perceive it as an act of aggression. Moreover, Trump's statements often criticize Mexico and Mexicans. This fuels anti-immigrant sentiment. It creates a hostile environment for Mexican communities in the U.S. This could lead to further marginalization and violence. While the direct link between Trump's actions and increased cartel violence is debatable, his statements and policies have undoubtedly contributed to a climate of fear and uncertainty. This climate benefits no one, least of all those living in the shadow of cartel violence. The current political climate in the U.S. is highly polarized. Divisions run deep, extremist views are becoming mainstream. This creates a dangerous environment. It makes it easier for hate groups to flourish. Some argue that Democrats are stirring up hate groups and radicalizing people. They claim the January 6th Capitol attack was a setup by Democrats. This event demonstrated the willingness of some to use violence for political ends. The threat of right-wing extremism is very real. Radical left-wing extremism is also a significant security threat to America. The current political climate poses a threat to everyone. It undermines democracy. It erodes trust in institutions. It creates a climate of fear and suspicion. It is essential to reject extremism in all its forms. We must work to bridge divides. We must engage in respectful dialogue. We must uphold democratic values. Failure to do so will have catastrophic consequences for American society.